Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Tonight it's time to feed our sweet tooth with banana loaf. This is a little bit different to most banana breads, banana cakes, etc. that you make. I'll show you those special ingredients in a moment, but here's what we need. So technically it's possibly a healthier version of it, but it'll still be good though. So grab your handy pink spatula or equivalent that you use for cooking and come on in and I'll show you what we need. Okay, so first of all, oven on to 160 fan forced, 180 regular. I'm going to do mine on 170 because normally every time I do banana bread, I think it's done. And then when I cut it, it never is. So you sort of get that false sense that it's ready, but it's the banana that's a bit mushy as well. So there's two annoying things about banana bread. But it's so good, so you've just got to keep going with it, and eventually you'll hit the nail on the head, as they say. You also need a bowl, handy pink spatula or spoon for stirring, and a loaf pan. Grease and line it. Okay, ingredients are as follows: 2.5 cups of self-raising flour, half a cup of almond meal, 1 1/3 cups of mango yogurt. Now I brought 2 of these little pouches that are Greek style yogurt that only made up a cup. And fortunately enough for me, I still had some of my Aldi ones in the fridge that I brought. And I was going to use vanilla. Reached in and lucky I had a mango one left. So that's the ones that you buy in the packet of 6. So that was lucky. So I've made up my 1 1/3 cups. 2 eggs, which we're going to break into a cup and whip before we put in there. 100 grams of melted butter. It's not melted yet, but it's nearly there. 2 mashed overripe bananas. They're not overripe, but I got these a couple of weeks ago, so they're riper than the ones that I got a week ago. And finally, 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar. The great thing about when you cook banana bread is it's literally everything in a bowl. Mix it in and into the oven. So that's why I chose this recipe. And because, as I said, it's sort of different because you're using, instead of milk to help bind it, you're using yogurt. So it'll be interesting to see how that tastes. All right, so I'm going to chuck that in the microwave to melt. I don't know how melted it needs to be. Probably pretty melted. I don't want to make too much mess in that microwave because I hate cleaning it. All right, so into the bowl in goes. It doesn't say anything about sifting the flour. In goes the flour. In goes the almond meal. In's going to go the yogurt. I've already got washing up to do. Dinner from last night's, and then I've popped it into the freezer, the rest of it. So I've got a lot of washing up to do tonight. Not in the mood for it. So it'll be interesting to see what this yogurt's like because I've never brought the ones in the pouch before. They look sort of weird. I don't know who's ever eaten the yogurts in the pouch, because personally, and I do a couple of days a week, I like to be able to stick my spoon in my yogurt, not drink it. But anyway, I guess those are good for other things. They can go over there. All right, let's see how this is looking. Another 30 seconds on the butter. So after the yogurt, we are adding the eggs, which, as I said, we're going to need... I'll just use a spoon. All right, so when I do eggs, I crack them into a cup. 2 reasons. 1, I can get the shell out, and 2, if there's any nasty eggs, which I've only ever had one nasty egg in a while, it will save me from putting it in with the rest of it. Just make sure it's whipped a little bit. And the second one. Getting pretty good at breaking eggs because I do it quite a lot. All right, beautiful. 2 eggs. Very intriguing putting mango yogurt in banana cake. Banana loaf, I should say. Why is it called banana loaf? Obviously, when you cook it, it's going to be shaped like a loaf. If it was a cake, it would be round or square. Okay. In goes the melted butter. Perfect. And our last ingredients are our mashed bananas and our brown sugar. Look at that. It reminds me of making sandcastles. All right, last thing is our bananas. So if you're planning on making this, my suggestion, maybe you're making this because you do have 2 overripe bananas, but if you're planning on making it, make sure that you do have 2 ripe bananas, because I can honestly tell you, the riper the banana, the better the taste. I know it sounds weird. So next time you got the urge to throw out those bananas that you haven't eaten, don't. Either make banana loaf, or what I normally do is because I have a banana smoothie 3 days a week. I make 3 a week, I should say. Today's one is going to be with my breakfast tomorrow. What you do is you peel them and you put them in a Ziploc bag and you put them in the freezer. They make the best smoothies because they're so cold. And when you make smoothies, the colder they are, when you make them, the better they are. All right, that is everything. Isn't that easy? Now we just got to mix it. Give it a good mix. Wow, that looks good. That mango yogurt's really given it that nice yellowy colour as well. So we've still got the sugar for the sweetness from the brown sugar. And we've got the flour, which will help it rise. But the binding is done by the yogurt, the eggs, and the butter. Interesting. All right. So you want to see no flour when you're stirring it. If you see flour, give it another stir. And the important thing is, the same as when you do muffins, don't overmix. You want it light and fluffy, which I think the almond meal will sort of help keep it light and fluffy as well. I've just got flour pockets down the bottom. Flour pockets are when you think you've stirred it all, everything's good, and then you see, obviously, flour being white, you see the white flour down the bottom. Oh, that's good. That looks really good. And I can smell the mango yogurt as well. All right. Come on through. All right. Tip it in. Tip, tip, tip. Gently. All right. Smooth it out. Oh, I found a flour pocket. God, always finding flour pockets. You don't find flour pockets until you're at this step, unfortunately, now. If you find one, just smooth it out. All right. So good. All right, I got a little bit more in here. This is why the handy pink spatula is awesome. All right. So this, you're going to cook for 40 to 45 minutes. Because I'm doing mine at 170, I'm going to cook mine for 40 minutes. And I'll see you soon. Okay, so there we have it. It's out of the oven. It looks like it's exploded a little bit. And that molten bit there is banana. Ow! Don't touch it like I just did. Got a little bit burnt on the top. So, but anyway, that's done. It looks awesome. I can't wait to try a piece, maybe later. And I thank you for watching this episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been Banana Loaf. Catch you on the next adventure. Bye!